We'll do intro song. Huh? Do an intro song. Yeah, so. And with that, welcome to another edition of the podcast that nobody asked for. With the people you hardly remember.
But now, you all seem to want more of.
Yes. So thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and please like this at the end of the video, maybe not in the beginning. Maybe like it once, then unlike it, and whilst the video is coming to an end, you can like it in the...
And then you can come at the end.
Yes.
Oh God.
Also, if you're not somebody who enjoys watching the PSY-POD on YouTube, you can always listen to us on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I've always wanted to say this, wherever you go for podcasts.
Oh yeah, I know. That's like...
Who says that?
Every podcast.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Just basically saying it's available everywhere.
Yeah. And today it's PSY-POD 31, and we've got another female guest. Yay! Hey, sort of still unbalanced in the guest ratio, but slowly
it's been a lot of guys only.
Yeah, it's been a real sausage fest.
Yes, now bringing in some taco festivals.
Oh gosh.
It's Momo Monday, people.
Alright, but anyway, today our guest, you probably know her if you've been on a Drucker flight.
Oh great. That is the most annoying introduction ever.
Or if you watched a movie from Zongsa Jamin Khyentse Rinpoche,
yeah,
or if you like buying knockoff Japanese goods.
Oh shit, it's not knockoff, excuse me.
Just kidding, just joke.
It's first copy.
Please visit Komonoya, by the way. Perfect time.
Welcome Ajum to the podcast.
Thank you.
This is Ajum Sadon Lhamo, right?
Yes.
Is it Sadon or is it Sadon?
It's Sadon.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Actually, yeah, you can say it however you
Sadon.
want. Yeah, sure.
The dawn of Sa. More.
And you're gonna say yours now?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Kinle is copying some glasses today, which is the equivalent of throwing water to a fish in order for it to breathe.
Yeah, it helps. No, I've actually been having severe eye problems.
You've been having that since...
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Like way worse. I actually had a glaucoma scare.
What's glaucoma?
It's a condition where pressure builds up inside the eye, and then it can rupture the vessels.
Whatever was left of...
And then I'd gone for an eye checkup, and then they were like, oh, it looks like you might have glaucoma. And then I was like, oh great.
But you don't.
No, it apparently turned out when they were looking at my eyes, because my eyes don't focus straight.
Oh.
So because it was looking at an angle, my eyes look bigger than usual. So they were like, oh, okay. Anyway.
You're
nice.
Just another day in Gile's life.
A nice start to bring in some positive energy, yes. Okay. What do you want to ask, Gile?
I'm sure many of you follow Ajum Sadon for various reasons. Some of you probably creepy ones. I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't lie. Tell me that's not true.
What? Okay, just anyway, ask the question now.
So happiness is a place.
Yeah, that's not
Why?
happening anymore. But
Why? Yeah, but then.
Okay.
Why?
Why did it happen?
Yeah, and why did it stop?
I think everybody's like kind of sick of the story, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Okay.
So
I've never heard it.
Yeah, me
what
too.
really?
Yeah.
Me neither.
I mean, our life doesn't revolve around what you have to say. But
Hey!
Do you think I descend to the universe?
A lot of people ask, okay, whatever. You guys are weird then.
Oh, by the way, to all future guests, Ajum Sadon was the one who brought us this pizza. So
Why are you calling me Ajum Sadon?
sorry, he's saying Ajum, so it came out from my mouth as Ajum. Sadon brought us pizza and
Sadon.
Cokes. Yes, Sadon.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something y'all should do next time as well.
Yeah,
but anyway,
other than the Nimbu Pani now.
Yeah.
Bring your own snacks for the crew. And the hosts.
Yes, happiness is a place.
Okay, so I started the page when the pandemic started because I was feeling really down and we were in quarantine for like a long period of time and I felt very useless actually.
We were in quarantine?
No, I was because the crew had to be in quarantine every time we flew, right? Because of COVID.
For like 3 weeks.
21 days, yeah.
Yeah,
that's how it started. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So when I was there, I was feeling really down and kind of useless and kind of depressed also. So I was like, I want to start a community page where people can come, where it's like you forget about the pandemic and COVID in general and just celebrate good things. So
Okay.
So that's how it
So
started.
what kind of content do you upload in this page?
Well, I try to make, like, it was just daily stuff, and like I was encouraging people to post stuff about what they were doing during lockdown, because that was when people were really down also. It's just like very boring daily stuff, and I was like, you don't need to edit your videos like a pro as well, because it's like celebrating the not so perfect things in life. So I wasn't creating a lot of content. I would create whatever I wanted to and just upload it, like whatever I wanted to share. For example,
A day in my life.
a day in my life, a day in lockdown,
Okay.
like I know it sounds really boring, but gardening or just like just talking to people and just telling them like let's count our blessings now. I know it's not very easy to look at the positive side right now, but we can still think of things that we should be grateful for. And then people started sending in their videos and they would tag me every time they found something happy, which is what I was encouraging.
Okay.
And yeah, so they sent videos of them dancing and then their children like learning to play instruments and and vlogs as well, daily vlogs.
Did you start to sing Imagine and
Oh,
have
God.
some celebrities join in with you?
So no. So I'm not that famous. Okay, I can get away with that actually.
Why? How?
Because I'm not that famous and the page wasn't that big. It was a very
You
small.
are famous. Your voice is on one of those. Was it Tashisa?
No.
I've heard your voice on those automated response.
But that was a while ago. It was on the Drucker thing.
Yeah.
That was
If not famous, maybe recognizable.
Yeah.
That'll be a sub-famous word.
Like, that's the euphemistic way of saying not famous.
So basically, as I was saying, not famous, so I can get away with singing Imagine.
Okay.
So that was what the page was.
Okay. And but Rajim also like I think you've done a lot of MC work also, man. Amo.
Yes, I
Are you still
started-
continuing to do this MC kind of stuff?
Not so much now because I don't really enjoy it as much as I used to.
Oh.
But I started with the first Miss Bhutan.
Oh, you're the host.
Yeah, it was by, I don't know how it happened. It happened by mistake, I think. Because Karma String was, we were helping him organize it. And then he was like, just do it. And I was like, oh, okay, if you really believe in me, thank you. So then that was how it started, the MC.
Okay.
Then people approached me. They're like, can you host this event? And yeah, the movie, film awards and all that. So yeah, that's how it happened.
So
If you don't mind my asking, you don't have to
I want to
give
snap
me.
you off.
No, you don't have to. No.
you didn't hear it yet.
Yeah, you don't have to
but
give me
still.
a number.
Okay.
Do those jobs pay well?
It depends on who is organizing the event. And I think for back then, not bad. Like, I used to get like 10, 15 grand. Which
Per
is
day?
No,
For
for
an
the
event.
For an
event.
event.
Yeah.
And then this was like first Miss Bhutan you're talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think back then the
That was good
value
way.
was much
Yeah.
more valuable. People used to be paid.
But even
like,
now, people still offer the same amount, but then you're like, oh, I want to get paid more. Because recently I did the interviews for Miss
Oh,
Bhutan
again.
contestants.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And that was for Shangri-La, and the company is like way more better established. They have more money, I guess. So the payment was good then. So I guess it depends, no?
Okay.
And it is like a side hustle for me. So I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
any extra money is good
Yeah.
money, right?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, but then your full-time job is like
The air hostess.
Yeah.
the flight attendant.
But what about also your store is also your side hustle?
Yeah, that's like after the pandemic.
Okay, so
Why-
many side
why?
hustles. Many
Why?
side hustles.
You have to
Many-
side hustle in
many-
Bhutan.
No,
right?
yeah, I will. I
Of
will.
course.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Every person should side
Yeah,
hustle.
exactly.
Every
Yes.
person. Every
Yes.
person. Side
Yeah.
hustle is very important.
Hustle
Yeah.
culture.
There's
But not
I
to the
promote
point where your
it.
mental health starts to get really
There's a
badly
rule of
affected.
That's
thumb.
true.
I think.
There's a rule of thumb about like at least like ikigai kind of happiness.
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, I
mentality.
love that book.
So basically, no, I don't know about the book.
Okay.
But it's something
That's
like
right.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Keep a
basically,
purpose.
you should have a job which pays you money to suffice,
Okay.
whatever it be. You need to have a hobby which you can be creative with it.
Yeah.
And you need a side hustle in order to fund that you can have that hobby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that
So
makes
if you
sense.
have these kind of things more, somewhat your life can be in balance. No? Like,
In balance.
so with all that money, you apparently have to like save 30, keep rest for like the expenses, and then with whatever's left, then you can,
Disposable
spend.
income.
Disposable income. You
So
can
you
go
guys,
out.
do you
can
guys
buy
have
shit.
a side hustle?
My side hustles is a Gerubi.
That's a side hustle. That looks like.
I have.
That seems like a main.
Yeah, all my jobs are side hustles. I write. Recently, I've been writing for Drucker in-flight magazine.
What, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
write comedic articles for them.
Okay.
Then Getterby is another one. Then sometimes I get freelance work to like edit some people's stuff.
That's nice.
But I'm no longer writing SOPs, so please stop it.
SOPs suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but then as a flight attendant,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, and this because of the fact that my wife also works as a flight attendant, it is
Don't cry
not
now.
it is not the glamorous job that it is made to look to be.
So what is the question? Is that was a statement?
Yeah, it is.
No,
a
that's what I
statement.
meant. Like,
Is it or not?
Can you
Is it or
add?
not?
Can you add
Yeah.
on?
That it's
say,
not.
Sadon, can you add on?
Oh.
I think it depends. I mean, the work is definitely not a glamorous job because you're there, like serving
Serving the-
trays and collecting it, and you're cleaning bathrooms. Those are the things that people don't see you doing, right?
Exactly.
And yeah, that's not very glamorous. But at the same time, I think because I used to work for the government before, right? I worked for 2 years, and then by the second year, I was bored. at the job, sorry to say. And then I felt like I wasn't learning. Not that I'm learning so much here, but then still you meet a lot of people and it sort of keeps you active in different ways, no? So the government job was kind of like bumming me out, and then the vacancy came for True Care. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try it because, and at the end, that time I was like, it's all about money, right? So I was like, I want to get paid better and you get to travel low. So I was like, why not? So I tried it out, and I think it's half and half. It's not as glamorous, but at the same time, you get to stay in fancy hotels, you get to eat like good food, you get to travel.
And you get to meet celebrities.
If I haven't met any celebrities except for Amir Khan, I guess.
Oh wow, that's one of the biggest celebrities.
I like
Goes to America.
Oh.
Here's the new Forrest Gump.
I saw that.
which is being boycotted.
Which is basically the same plot.
They're boycotting it.
Same plot, but they've added Indian elements.
Of
Like
course
instead of him running
too,
for the football team, he's running for the running team. I think.
Okay.
And in cricket, it doesn't involve you to run.
Oh, sorry.
Wow, look at Amir Khan with such a sprint while he's bowling and catching that.
Hey, you have to run in cricket, but not.
You do, but
After
it's
you hit
not
the
very
ball.
intensive.
Okay, fine.
As like other sports.
Oh
do.
yeah.
Okay, that's a weird segue.
No, but then that movie is being boycotted left.
Okay, I
and
forgot
right.
why.
Why?
Indian people.
Oh, I get it. Oh.
And because of that, there's this weird thing of a lot of boycotts have been happening. Like I think Alia Bhatt's newest movie is also getting #boycott.
It's just
These
a trend or
Indians
what?
love to boycott
Exactly.
and protest
Yeah.
and cancel shit memo.
Yeah, but it's their right to
Bun.
do so. I mean, at the end of the day, I think as long as it doesn't get violent, it's not really a problem.
No, but what was the reason for boycotting?
Exactly,
this
I
one?
have not bothered to look that up because I'm like.
you should look that up. That's like the main
I
reason.
forgot, you can just leave us hanging.
Right?
You find
I
what
actually
like.
want to know now.
Yeah.
Curious.
I think I know one. There was this other one called Pathan, if I'm not mistaken, which is a movie about soldiers. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm just going off of all the whatever, like all the tiny bits and pieces I was reading here and there. I can't see.
Stop using that as an excuse for everything. Oh my god.
The
Shame
only
on you.
person to call me out on that. But yeah, like it really depends. I suppose people are boycotting stuff for any reason. I think at the end of the day, you can't really not offend someone.
Yeah, especially at this day and age. Oh my god. You do anything and it offends people.
Yeah. But anyway, with your whole like the flight attendant thing, like how long have you been doing that now?
I just got my bronze medal for 10 years of service.
Ah.
I'm very proud. So this is my 11th year now.
Now they're planning a Julius summer dance for in honor of Ajim.
That would be awesome. Wait, what?
Jerusalem.
You guys did that dance because apparently what I've heard is Shobki's favorite song is.
Yes. You guys have seen the video, right?
Yeah, of course, it's viral. It's very viral.
Our friend was the choreographer.
And Miss
It's
Bhutan
amazing.
ripped it off.
Oh no, I'm no comments on that stuff, but yeah. But ours was way better, sorry. No offense here.
No comments on that stuff.
Here's the best part. Shangri-La, you've already paid me to do the Miss Bhutan work, so I am no longer obligated
They
to
also
do
actually, but they did a good job.
Yeah.
It's just that because now it's the second one
Yeah.
from Bhutan,
Yeah.
then it loses some of that. What do you call?
charm.
Chew. No, there's no chew.
Chew?
Yeah.
I know what
the-
you did.
Chew is taste in Zongkhamem.
Flavor.
I don't
Yeah.
think so, but yeah.
Easy chew.
Don't.
Chew, no chew.
Enough.
Chew.
Okay, that's
Not chew.
Repeating it does not make it
yeah.
even any more
More.
comprehensible.
Okay.
Chew.
Okay, right now there's a long article about why it got cancelled,
Oh,
but
no.
I cannot get into it because it'll take me maybe like 5 minutes to read it. So
Forget
basically, it's
Oh.
anti-Muslims reason.
Eh.
For some reason, they might have pissed off some Muslim community. Or
Oh,
something.
okay.
But
Okay,
then-
that's like entirely different.
yeah.
I thought it was something else.
Hey, Bollywood, respect our dharma like South movies do. See how much we give you, local.
Oh,
I don't know.
that sums it up.
A lot of the time, it is usually either faith related
Religion.
or culturally
Yeah.
motivated. So it's always those sort of things.
But that's just going to cause more people to watch it.
Yeah.
now.
Speaking of boycotting films and all, you also do films,
Yeah.
and you've worked in a very well-known yet controversial film. We're not going to go into the controversy. You worked with Hema.
There's a Oh, yeah.
It got banned in Bhutan.
It got
Yeah.
banned.
It's not a big secret, guys. We
Yeah.
all know.
We all
Yeah,
know.
but then I don't want to dwell on the controversy yet.
Great.
But yeah, you were in Hema, and what
Yeah.
was your role in that one?
It was, I had to play two roles. because the other girl couldn't act in the other, like it was supposed to be two different separate female characters, right?
So you acted a double role there?
Yeah, because it
But
was
masks.
yeah, exactly.
You were Lindsay Lohaning that shit. All right.
Freaky Fridaying
Yeah,
that shit.
Parent Trap.
Parent trapping that shit.
Okay, Freaky Friday.
Yeah, Freaky Friday is
Freaky
not.
Friday is the wrong movie.
That's the wrong one.
Parent
Parent
trapping.
Trap.
Parent trapping.
Yeah, I had to though. Yeah.
She was CGI. Whole movie.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but
Whole
Yeah,
movie
like,
she was
so
like
what
this.
was those two? What were those two roles?
it was Red Wrathful and Hideous according to their mask.
There was. Did you have names for the characters?
Yeah.
Red
It was
Wrathful and Hideous.
So don't gonna get long. Animation just but the whole
Because the script
dialogue was
everything was
Zongkhamen
in-
at member.
Zongkha dialogue bro madewata namsame.
It's a silent.
I had a dialogue only during the rape scene. Yeah.
Which was what?
Which-
Mabe!
Yeah, exactly. Like,
okay.
Kachibimo, what are you doing here? And then Mabe and all that stuff.
Exclamation.
I only
Yeah.
watched like the first like 30 minutes I think and then
Yeah.
the last so Banakom Watai Mata. I don't know how that ended up, but I only I remember
Okay.
he's talking about
Yeah.
that rape scene
Yeah.
and all. But then
That was all
the
you could
question?
watch.
What
You
was
were
the
like, I'm
question?
done.
No,
Okay.
like what's the experience like with working with
Rinpoche.
Rinpoche? Yeah.
Amazing. Rinpoche is like, I've never met him before. I met him on the plane very briefly once, and I know there's like a whole hype around Rinpoche because of his movies.
Yes.
And it was nice. Rinpoche is really chill. He doesn't like overwork you, or he doesn't give you too many instructions. He just says, this is what I want, and then he kind of leaves you to do your thing.
Actually, since more we here, let's talk more about productions. How many scenes would you guys shoot in a day?
Oh God, I hope I can remember. Not that many, but we finished within a month, you know.
So that's why I thought, no,
Yeah.
you guys shot a feature film.
Not having dialogues must really help.
30 days, no. So.
It did, and then we did work around the clock though, because there's a lot of like night scenes and stuff like that also. So that was true time now. And then you know how many extras we had, right? You must have seen. Did you see like the forest part?
Yeah.
So all those people in that area were like Rinpoche followers and all. So we called them, and they were given like meals, and then got them in their mask and all. So morning, evening, but then I wasn't like overworked because my scenes would only be like in the morning, and then in the afternoon there'd be another set for another group, like Keta scene or whatever, and then in the evening like a group scene and things. Maybe 3-4, depending. Yeah.
Okay, so not that. Quite interesting that you guys managed to pull that out. So it wasn't really. Did you feel like it was exhausting by the end of the day?
Not at all. Not
No.
for me. Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. So you guys had a big crew maybe to set up everything.
There was a lot of
So
people.
like, okay, guys,
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
ready, you just have to go there
Yeah,
and shoot.
yeah.
Is it like a fully Bhutanese team, or we're talking?
We had
International crew as
from
well.
India as well.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then we had like a choreographer who was Indian as well. They were all like Rinpoche's like students as well who came forward, who wanted to help and all.
Oh,
So it was a very big team. That's why I think we didn't really feel the pressure.
You'll have
Yeah.
all earned merit.
Yeah. I actually feel like I got luckier after I was with Rinpoche in that film.
The gates of Nirvana are one step closer.
Oh God.
Were you a religious person before coming to this film, or
I'm still not a religious
You're
person.
not a religious
no,
person,
I
so-
mean I'm spiritual, I think, but
not really religious? Yeah.
no, not
So-
at all.
But how about the experience being now working with Rinpoche? Is very in the Dharma lifestyle, very Zen, and there's all these people, like the people working with him are all like kind of like
Yeah,
infused with that
praying
culture.
and
No?
yeah, but no, it didn't really influence me that way.
Mm.
Like I really liked his energy and vibe. I like being around him and all, but then I wouldn't really pay much attention to that stuff because first of all, I don't understand it too much, right?
Okay.
So it didn't interest me.
Mm,
So
okay.
yeah.
So Ani, like the film is actually very symbolic also, no? It's about basically like what would you do if you knew that no one knows, which you remember?
Anonymity, yeah,
Anonymity,
basically,
no? So
yeah.
these are the themes, no?
Yeah.
There's also like kind of religious themes also because I think
There's like Bardo,
Bardo,
and life and death,
life
and
and
karma as well. Like
karma,
what goes around
yeah,
comes around.
the instant
Yeah.
karmic
Yeah,
cycle. So
yeah.
then that is also somewhat religiously, or is it spiritual? What do you feel?
It's Newton's third law.
Every action has an equal and
Yeah, I
opposite
think so.
reaction.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what most people said, like, oh, what did you take away from the film? And like, you know, what was the lesson you learned from it? And all that. I was like, first of all, I didn't really think about it to that depth and all that. But then
Okay.
I think it's all about like, I think it's more about human nature. And like
Okay.
you said, anonymity, the people behind a mask, no matter where you take them, you know, and even if they have, like, they can get away with a lot of stuff if you don't know their identity, right?
Okay.
And that's exactly what happens.
You just have to look at the fake Facebook profiles and how they comment.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I think I
Exactly.
feel like that
That's
people
exactly
confession
it. It can be
pages,
on so many
all
levels.
Buddhist news in forum group, no,
I have a
something
fake
like
account also. So.
that. Finsta, Finsta,
No, a Facebook account where
a face,
Festa.
Festa.
Yeah.
Faden.
That's where I fight with people, but yeah, now I don't do it anymore. It's unhealthy.
I feel like going to
Fuck you, Dragon Girl 33.
Dragon Girl 33.
That's a
No.
horrible name. Mine was Leptang, yeah.
I'm left hand
Yeah.
today.
420
Remember
blaze
Upload
it.
Am-
Oh, okay, I'm the.
Yeah.
Apkuchu mein na. Apkuchu.
Abkuchu, sorry. What did I say?
Apkuchu.
Abdoji.
Apkuchu and Uplift.
Abdoji is another character in our
But I'm
sketch
done
coach.
now.
So after for promo of the film, did you get to travel to any festivals with Tim?
Yes, I got to travel to Locarno, which is in Switzerland.
Ooh.
Then I went to Canada.
For Tim?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was there for Tim.
Wow.
But I miss Ryan Gosling, man. But
See,
anyway.
did you
Which
go
one's
and
Ryan
watch any
Gosling?
films over there?
We did Tifna de Mata, I don't think so. We were traveling because we wanted to go like sightseeing and stuff.
Oh.
But in Locarno, they had an amazing setup, like outdoors and like this big screen. We watched some short films there.
Yeah.
That was nice. Yeah.
And anywhere else?
That's it.
No,
Yeah.
but-
And the others that get I think he went for. It was like I don't know.
Doji.
Hong Kong, you know,
Oh, okay. So Tiff, how does it feel? Like when I was younger, I was always looking at this festivals, all red carpets and then all this, what do you call billboards and all this stuff. So
Oh,
how was
yeah.
your experience? You guys had to go to the carpet. and
Yeah,
take
we did the
pictures.
red walk. What? Red carpet
The
walk?
red walk. Alright.
No, sorry.
That
Second to the
sounds-
red wedding.
The red carpet
As
walk.
they were walking, somebody just like crossed both.
Oh god.
Locarno sensitive. Yeah, Tiff.
But it's fun, yeah.
So you walk through the red carpet.
It's a very
So how does it work? You just walk through the thing and then okay, bye guys, see you.
I think there's a point where you have to stop, look
They
at the
have
camera,
that
click,
huge
click, click,
TIFF
click.
banner, right?
Yeah.
Then they take photos, and then everyone's like.
Who are you wearing?
But I mean, we're not that famous, so it's not like it's a big crowd. But there are photographers and all.
And I'm
so-
sure because you're wearing Kira and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
They probably do.
So then after that, you walk into the cinema, and then you watch the film again because there's like people
Oh,
watching.
so you
it.
go for your premiere.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so people who want to watch, they'll buy tickets and
Yeah,
come watch. And then they do like the applause at the end and
Yeah,
stuff like
and then
that.
we come on stage and there's a Q&A.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah, it's
I heard that like depending if the movie they like the movie, people will give like a standing ovation for like 10 minutes or something like that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have that
I
though.
know.
sorry.
You just know that there are people who are in there who are like, you know, those, there are some white folk who have these.
White folk.
No, I say it like this because there are
There's some white folk around here.
there are some white folk.
Damn, I see them in the streets at night, creeping around in trenches.
Oh my gosh.
You look like you're on the wrong side of town, boy.
Boy, hey honky, this ain't your
No,
neighborhood.
but my thing is like I've met a lot of white people, and it's usually white people
Okay.
who seem to have this spiritual awakening in Bhutan for some reason.
Yeah, they love that stuff.
Yeah.
Really?
So I can just imagine, like even at the filming, at the premiere, there must have been people who are like, "Oh, this gets me."
Yeah.
Like just
I
like
think
shedding
so.
a tear. It's like, oh, no dialogues, but yeah, it works.
Dialogues, there's like a narration throughout where
Yeah.
he's talking and he's kind of singing about it, you know what I mean?
Sing me a song, sing you. It's like
Yeah, sing me
my
a
head
song
on
while
sing
I
me a
wait.
song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's why not get deep into the controversy now? So the controversy was because of his ban, or was because of the use of the masks,
Yeah.
or is it because of the nudity?
I think it was both, but mostly the masking culture. Department of Culture had a problem with it, right? Yeah, because it was all because the Red Wrathful looks like, what's his name?
Mahakala.
Dujolo, yeah.
Dujolo.
Yeah, Anzum. And then there's a lot of resemblance with the other ones.
So these masks was made specially.
I
or-
just wanted to say that. It's like paper mache gizumbe.
Oh, so it's a little lighter.
Oh, so those weren't actual masks.
No,
Okay.
they were
They were
very
masks,
light,
but they're
yeah.
not like performance key
Okay,
masks.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like heavy wooden masks.
All right, so those are like
So the whole team made all those masks. They're like
wow.
amazing ones.
your art
Yeah.
department must have.
They were amazing. Emily and Sophie and everyone. Yeah,
They
they were
were
really good.
they had good budget, don't they?
Yeah,
Must have had good budget.
definitely.
So then that nude scene, how did it come about? And did you pitch it to you like this is the reason why you need to be make it for
We will not be discussing
Yeah.
that.
You
sorry.
cannot talk about that because this is like the first and only scene.
I
No,
can't talk
ever.
about that.
You can't talk about that. She can't talk about that. You should have told me before I asked the question. I wasted my time. Just kidding.
I was trying to like hint at you from here the
No, it's
whole
okay.
time. I
Aren't you
was like,
supposed to communicate with your
yeah, I was
host?
trying to do that. I'm
It's
It's
okay.
sorry.
okay. It's okay. If you don't want to talk
Don't
about that, it's okay. You
Alright.
can make it clear.
I'll tell you
also.
later.
It's okay. You can tell me off camera. It's okay.
I'll tell you all later.
It's okay.
Call me.
Okay.
Send her creepy messages on Instagram.
We heard something about some nude scene in the podcast, and we wanted to get a little bit more into this.
Hello, madam. Please tell why nude scene. Also send Bob's and Vagana.
Oh God. Bob.
Vagine.
Oh yeah.
Vagine.
Bob's and Vagana. But sorry, yeah.
Let's dwell into this. Ajma is still into acting.
No.
She just did Gangnam.
I know
Girl.
she did Gangnam Girl, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm not now. It was just like I was bored during the pandemic, and then
this
the
offer-
opportunity came. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, why not? And it seemed fun and charming. I mean, I wanted to work with a woman director as well. It was amazing. So yeah.
So you don't think
No.
that you'll be acting?
No,
in
I don't
the
think it's for
project?
me. I don't think I'm a good actor. First of all, it's just like I think sometimes it's just luck or the opportunity that comes,
And
right?
you just try it.
Yeah, and I
you
just try
see
it.
how it goes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about Komono. How do you say it? Komonokoya? Is it right?
Komonoya.
Komonoya.
Yeah.
You got the
This is
idea
rapid
to
fire
open
topics.
I know,
so
right?
where did you get the idea and why did you start this shop?
Okay. No, actually, what we wanted to do is open like a 60-baht store, Zumbe. You know how they have like Daiso and stuff? Like one price store.
Yeah.
But then because of taxes, oh my god, which is really high, it was out of the question. But then at the same time, I was like, Japanese products would be nice. So I just told a friend, like, you should open it because she's a business person, no? Jamyang. And then she was like, do you want to do it together? And then I said, okay, let's try it out. And then it happened.
So all the products in the store from Japan?
Yeah, it comes from Osaka. That's where their headquarters.
That's why I think I saw a big sign, Osaka.
You were in Japan?
Yeah, Sai lived in
I
Japan.
lived in Japan, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I never heard of Komono. I thought it was...
It's Watts. I think in Bangkok and all, it's called Watts by Komonoya. So
Are
yeah.
you sure it's not a Chinese-run company?
A lot of stuff is made in China for sure. But
Recently, there was a news article where it's like Chinese company apologizes to customers for tricking them into thinking Miniso is Japanese.
It's not Japanese, it's Chinese.
yeah,
Exactly.
everyone
So they
thinks Miniso is
tricked.
Japanese.
Everyone thinks that Miniso is Japanese, and for the longest time, that company never clarified.
Every time I came here, so I was like, Miniso's drinking Japanese shop this store. I was like,
Chinese.
I was in Japan for a while. I did not see a single Miniso, so I don't know what you guys.
But at least
are
we
saying.
can say it's from Japan because it's shipped from there. Though a lot of it is made in China.
It was made in China, shipped to Japan, and shipped to Bhutan. So technically, it was
I know
from
it's
Japan.
weird.
And the best part, the made in China stickers are made in South Korea.
And the incense comes from Bangalore, you know.
What?
We have incense in our store, and we looked at the thing. It's like made in Bangalore.
Wow. No, they're blessed in Japan.
I
There's
mean,
like
we didn't know.
what do you call those priests?
What does Komonoya mean more?
Little things, Lomena.
Oh,
Little things.
no, that's
This
what
is what someone told me. I don't
that's
know
what
if
I
it's
should
right.
call them. Right?
Komo.
You should call.
Komo.
You get it.
Yeah.
You get it.
Oh. Oh.
I can only joke
No, I
about
got
these.
it.
What is it?
Komono means small things,
Okay.
particles, and ya is basically a place. So a
Okay.
place
Small
where you
things
get
of- yeah.
small
Small
things and
things.
accessories.
I was there a few times. We got this magnetoid car thing.
Oh God.
It looked like it came in like tiny metal pieces and.
Oh, you have to assemble it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was nice.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah, we gave it to our friend and he fixed it because he likes to play with screwdrivers. He likes to screw things a lot, but like he played it
And he also likes to play a screwdriver.
Yeah, and he was just showing it to me, and I was like, "This actually has some weight to it. Can I have the toy car now?"
Oh. Okay, great.
Very good. I don't know what to do.
This is a lovely story. I'm glad you liked
Cool
it.
story,
now.
bro. Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in Daiso, I remember when we were living there. It was like my favorite store. It was everything. You
Right?
could get literally like
Yep.
pots, pans, pajamas.
I do not get the
Everything.
charm
Cups.
of Minisos.
Really?
My dad,
Love-
anywhere we
well,
go,
all
he's
Muslims love
always
Miniso.
in Miniso.
Yeah.
He comes to Thimphu, he will go to both the Minisos. We
It's
go to
very nice.
Siliguri.
You get good stuff and it's affordable.
Yeah.
And the variety of stuff.
I don't know,
think
maybe I
that's
just
also
don't buy a lot of stuff.
Madam Sadon's same kind of theme, right?
Yeah, it
Or
is.
like
yeah.
buying some like
Yeah, but I think we
accessories.
have more kitchen and like you said, the Japanese think of everything, right?
Yeah.
Like most, like there's a little thing that you put up in the corner of the sink you would never think about, like, oh, I don't need that, but then
Yeah,
suddenly
yeah.
they have this and you're like, oh my god, I need this. Like all kind of products like that.
Yeah, well-
Miniso is more, I think, for like there's like stuffed toys and bags and it's
Yeah.
different. It's different.
They've
yeah.
got like full on like travel suitcase. It's lining
Their
up.
stuff is really nice also. Yeah. I support Miniso too.
I if I'm going to Miniso, it's usually because I'm being dragged there by someone. Like I will never
Make
go
an
there
effort to
make
go.
an effort
Yeah.
on my own. It's not like, oh, I want to go see Miniso today.
Okay,
No,
we
you don't
get
like-
it. You don't like shopping.
You don't like
I
small.
do not
You don't like small little things, komonos.
No,
Kimonos.
I like kimonos. They're expensive.
Very.
You know what kimono actually means? People think it's kimonos like that. After when to go to Japan learning Japanese, kimono just basically means kola. Ki means to wear, and mono is a thing. So it's a wearing thing.
Oh,
Ah,
way to not like spoil like the whole
Yeah,
romantic
the
thing we
roman-
have
yeah.
of like kimonos
God
and
damn it,
Japan.
memoirs of a geisha.
Oh yeah, oh so pretty though.
And then that's what Tekken means also. Te is
Iron fist.
hand, and Kin is iron fist. Tekken.
Oh, that's actually quite cool.
Tekken. That's how I
Better than
realized.
kimono.
Lot of things I realized once I went there that I was mispronouncing and understanding the wrong way. Like also there was a famous song called Itama.
Oh yeah, that's Japanese.
Yeah,
I thought that was
that
South
was
Korean.
Filipino. song.
Yeah. Okay, that's
But the chorus was in Japanese more. And it wasn't itomo, it was itsumo, which means always. Like I've always been retarded. Thinking it was itomo.
Oh, I thought you meant the lyrics. I've always been retarded.
I've always been retarded.
Because I thought he's gonna say I always love you or something.
No.
Like, I've always been retarded.
Oh god, at one point that song when I used to work at
I
radio.
love that song. It would play all the time.
Exactly.
So it wasn't itomo, it was itsumo.
Okay, it's Itsumo, everyone, for your
Kokoro.
information.
Kokoro means heart.
But after you went to Japan, did that whole thing like die down? Like the hype of Japan and everything it represented?
No.
No, you still love it?
But then there's also a dark side of the working culture.
Of course
It's
there.
pretty toxic.
I mean, every society or place has that, no?
I was watching this YouTube video called the Japan Iceberg.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know what an iceberg video is. So it's like
Oh.
how an iceberg at the top, you only see the top, but at the bottom
is
there's
like-
so much,
yeah.
right? So they basically break down Japan as an iceberg.
Okay.
So they're like the top, this is what you see. It's like
yeah.
the tourism, the culture, and then they're
Vending
like at the
machines.
bottom, this is what you don't see
No, but
is the stress. The working culture, the fact that people can be very toxic and they are not at all accommodating sometimes, and then he's like it gets worse as you go lower. But yeah, I still want to go to Japan.
There's so many people
really
in
been there?
Japan. Yeah. We went for Gummy's graduation there.
Oh.
Yeah. So we were there for quite a bit. And
Oh, I
I think you were there that time.
I think I was working all week. I was on my summer break.
Oh,
I
okay.
couldn't. I would have gone
Yeah.
at least to see. No.
I think it's nice to go for holiday. I wouldn't want to work in Japan for sure, but it's really nice.
Yeah, but I think anime each prefecture, each city has its own charm.
Yeah.
No? Like I have a friend who stayed in the more of like a village kind of area,
Oh.
so it was more like chill people.
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
they but also like the wage rate was quite low, so they didn't have much money. So it was a different lifestyle. It was more of the villagey.
Okay.
Whereas Tokyo, of course, very city life,
Very much.
and everyone's trying to get you to spend money at their place. No?
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
that kind of
Tourist
mentality.
trappy.
Yeah, very tourist trappy, and it's very like like fast paced. So
It's crazy. More Yalama.
It's kind of funny that we bring up Japan because I was watching a video on Japan again, and this guy is talking about certain things that Japanese people don't like, but they won't tell you.
Okay.
It's like one is like, oh, they don't like it when you stand in the middle of the road and like look for directions. They would prefer you stand to the side because
Okay.
they
You're in
don't
the
want
way.
you. Yeah. But then the one that I found really funny was they don't like it when you go to tourist trappy places to eat.
What?
Because a lot of Japanese, from what because he's a Japanese only, so he's generalizing it. But he's like, if you go to a like very like super commercial looking place to eat, right? Then a lot of Japanese are like, no, then you're not actually coming here to experience our food culture. Like if you do, then you would want to eat in these smaller, lesser known places.
yeah, hole in the walls. Of the place.
So he's like, you can always tell a tourist trappy place because they'll have like massive signboards, things will be written in English, the menu will have in English, whereas the local dives are like no signboard or like one signboard.
The easiest way to get a tourist trappy place is if you walk down the street. Okay, let's say it's like a busy street, and then someone with a flyer will hand up and say, "Good deal, come here," and then they'll drag you. This is the biggest tourist traps. If they're really good, they'll never have the guy outside who passing down flyers. People will go over there. Like we once went to a ramen place. It was the devil ramen, no, and there was a line like at least 50 meters, and then we went there. No, we said, "Elama, shana snoimo." But then there was like very like popular place, and this was the experience. Just wait. So I waited 2 hours in the line
Oh my
to have one
God.
cup, one bowl of ramen, but it was really good.
It was
But-
worth it.
Like if you like want to eat
You were
something
probably just
for-
hungry in
no,
2 hours
for
of
the,
waiting.
for the what do you call it,
Hype.
Instagram
Yeah.
whatever moment. No,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
once,
Yeah, yeah.
not all the time, not even
Yeah.
once in a while. Like once you can like wait and
Okay.
have that Instagram food. No,
Instagram.
in Instagram, but they say SNS in Japan, social networking site. So
Oh.
Facebook. So like we say social media.
SNS.
They say, do you use SNS? That's
Which one?
no.
It's like, which one? Snapchat, Twitter, Hangout, Line. Which one?
Line is quite popular in Japan. They don't
And
use
even in
WhatsApp.
Thailand, yeah.
Yeah,
They
Line.
use Line, yeah.
Oh yeah, in your years of traveling with Rukero, which has been your favorite place to like a flight that you always are happy to get in your roster?
Bangkok, Rome,
Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like Singapore because it's chill and I don't know.
Expensive.
It's chill.
Expensive, yeah.
All my
Even
friends-
because of the rules and all that.
Yeah, all my
no,
friends
I just
who are
like
in
the
Singapore
vibe
and-
of the
oh,
people there. It doesn't. I don't know. Bangkok gives me a headache every time I go there. I don't know why. I don't know what it is.
It's probably all the Bhutanese people walking around with giant Panasonic TV.
And the shopping requesting.
shopping
Everyone's like, "Can
Can you please get me this? Yeah.
And Ichibana. And Singapore, like, not many people. So I like Singapore. I mean, it is very expensive, but at least our hotel is paid for, which is the most expensive thing. And we get free dinner as well. Amazing dinner. So yeah, I like it.
Well, because of that, all that. Right?
Yeah, and I get to relax also. So.
What's the layover time like there? How long?
The flight is 4 hours. It's via Guwahati normally, and we get there around, I think, 5 p.m. And the next morning it's really early. Right now it's a little bit late now, the new flights, yeah.
Okay.
But it's gonna pick up soon, I think.
How often do you fly here?
2 weeks now, 3-4 flights, and then in between we have few standbys, like in case somebody can't make it or not.
So when you're not flying, what are you doing?
I'm at the store.
So you get time off.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
quite flexible in that.
Yeah, it is. Which is another reason I love my job, because you're like, you work hard for like a few hours on that flight and then you're done.
You're free,
just
free.
relax.
Give us your best fake smile.
So annoying. every smile is fake.
As a flight attendant, it's always like, as soon as you have to walk through that galley to the customers.
Then they mask you what they came in. I smile with my eyes now.
Speaking of which, any horror stories from your experience in flight attending? 10 years, yes, no more.
You mean like an
you
emergency
and
situation?
any like bad stories, like I had a horrible customer which I had to deal with.
Oh God, I did.
Yeah, you can just we'll give them a fake name. You can tell a story.
I don't know his name either. It was a passenger.
Let's give a name. Come on. Let's give a name.
Deddy McDeddington.
Nah,
That's too nice.
Deddy McDeddington.
Huh?
Dopenjo.
No, Dopenjo.
Dopenjo's our favorite one.
How about
Diablo.
Shaquille.
Shaquille. Okay.
Shaquille.
So Shaquille, let's talk about Mr. Shaquille.
Okay, Mr. Shaquille was on a flight.
Okay.
I'm not going to say where he was from.
Okay.
But I think he was in a bad mood and the flight was full, okay? And that this flight is like very limited time and we have a lot of service to do.
Okay.
So I was busy, whatever, and then I was handing out the meals and then he asked me like, "Oh, is this all you have?" And I said, "Yes, that's all we have." And that's where the conversation ended. And then later when I came, he was like, he had picked up a feedback form and he was writing. And then I noticed, right? And I said, "Is there a problem?" And then he was like, "You're being rude to me." And I was like, really? I didn't realize, I don't know, I think he'd sensed my tone to be rude. It wasn't, I really was in a rush trying to finish my work. So I was like, "Oh no, that's not the case." I said, if you have a problem, let me know what it is. You don't have to fill up that form and then we can talk about it. Do you want something else to eat, right? I said, "We don't, but I can offer you my crew meal. Let me try everything we can to diffuse the situation."
Service recovery.
Yes. But then it was too late because the dude was in a bad mood. And then it had to happen. Then he had tea, right? And then I was walking past because I was trying to get to the service center. And then he had his arm out like this. I think on purpose. So I kind of like bumped into his arm and he spilled his tea. And then he just got up and then he started yelling at me in front of all the other passengers. And I was so overwhelmed and I was like, "Can you come to the galley? Because I don't want to make a scene." Yes.
It was a Karen.
I don't want to make a scene in front of other passengers. And then this was like the first time I got shouted at ever in my life like that by a stranger. And so I felt very emotional. And then he just refused. And he was like doing this to his sleeves. Like
he wanted to throw down.
Yeah, like he wanted to hit me, right? And that is very intimidating when a guy does stuff like that. As a woman, you mappalara feel that way more. And then my junior came, he's like much younger than me, and he was like, "What's the problem?" And then I just said, "Oh, I can't deal with you right now." And I just walked past him, and then I went straight away to the purser and then the captain, and I explained what happened. And then I didn't go to the back to serve him, and then my purser went and handled him and everything. And then when they were leaving, he was like, he wants to talk to the captain.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. And then the captain came. Captain was like very sweet that way. And then captain said, "Do you want to come as well?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to come in case he lies, right? I want to be there to stand up for myself."
Okay.
So then he asked him and he's like, "Oh, what did he say? He used a weird word, like
Slang, a slur?
Nothing like that. He didn't say the B word or the C word, don't worry. No, he said she's like unstable or crazy or something to me. Hysterical? No, he didn't know a fancy word like that.
Oh.
Sorry.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, he said something like that. And then...
Okay.
But yeah, he said that. And then the captain was like, "Oh, you can't like say that to my crew. That's not very nice of you, and we can like talk about it properly." Then he's like, "I'm going to make sure the management hears." And then I was like, "You can take it wherever you want to, sir. I'm so sorry. Like, I have tried everything in my power to calm you down." And he was like, "Whatever," and he left. So that was the end of it. But then every time I flew after that, I had like
Drama,
really? You guys, seriously, have you ever experienced things like that?
As a man, no.
I've had things which give me a trauma, like which I can relate with, but I've never had like a stranger argue with me.
Okay. But then when you're hesitant to do anything, right? So then every time a passenger would come or ask me something, I would like answer, but I was like, shit, did I like, is my tone okay? Am I like,
guessing yourself?
yeah, I felt really bad. Anyway, that happened.
How recent was this? This is way back before?
It was a few years ago, yeah.
Okay.
After that, nothing has
But now,
happened.
now you've gone past that, or are you still a little bit like
No, I'm fine now.
apprehensive whenever you come and talk with the customers?
No, I'm fine now.
Like,
But that dude was scary though.
yeah.
Mean, actually, not scary. Yeah.
My wife's told me horror stories of customers who are just very entitled.
Yes.
Like extremely. I believe she said in some flights they don't even refer to flight attendants as like miss. I think it's like trolley pusher.
Or
they
do
call
this.
them like, oh, they
snap
do
their
this,
fingers. Yeah.
and then they're like trolley pusher.
Oh.
Like it's like
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not
like-
saying all passengers are bad, by the
Yeah,
way.
but-
We have some really nice ones also, but then those kind of stick out, no, like a sore thumb.
they're few and far between.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're very. I think it's because of the fact that bad customers are so rare
Yeah.
that when you do encounter them, they leave a very lasting
I
impression.
think
Very much.
that's in any service kind of
Yeah,
business, no?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
you'll be we're communicating with so many customers
Yeah.
on the daily that you're bound to have one or two assholes once in a
Unhappy
while.
ones.
But
yeah.
what Sadie did, that service recovery, right? Like where
Yeah.
you like offer them,
Yeah.
like, oh, like, if you
Yeah.
want more to eat, I can get you.
Yeah.
Thing. So that's something that I think a lot of Bhutanese people don't do in the country. There is no service recovery.
Yeah.
Like my we were at a restaurant once, and my sister and we were eating, and then I didn't enjoy the food. But I'm not going to complain about people, be like, I didn't enjoy the food. I'm not that person. But then as we were walking out, my sister was like, she went to the counter and then she said something and she kept something. And I was like, what happened? And then she's like, there was glass in my food.
Oh my god.
What the
She had a shard of glass.
You can-
She
you can-
bit
you can
into
s-
it.
you can
I
smell
know.
it.
And then I just looked at them and they were like, sorry. And I was like, what do you mean sorry? Like,
That is.
what? And it's just lucky that
So I kind of zoned out. This was a restaurant?
Yes.
Okay.
I will not name the restaurant.
Okay.
But
Maybe we
it's
should
not
name-
just...
See, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Whatever he just whispered, it was not that one. But then again, there's this other time when a friend of mine and we went to grab a meal, and then the whole time the waiter was like this, like arms folded, just glaring at us. And then I was like, I feel bad to order food. Like, why am I feeling bad to order
Where
food?
have you been eating? All
No.
these bad restaurants.
No, and these are not even like, they're well-known restaurants, I'll tell you
okay.
that.
I'm sorry to hear
They're
that.
very popular, very
Yeah,
well known. And I understand that waiters and all have a hard job, right?
Yes.
It is difficult. It is an
But
unappreciative
it's their job, yo.
But at the same time, I think, keeping your arms crossed and like leaning against the table, like one of the tables behind us, and just like waiting for us to make our order. And then when we were asking, like, do you have this? It's like very like snappy.
Revise, yeah.
And I always tell people there is a difference between being polite and timid, right? Like for a lot of the time, a lot of Bhutanese consider timid as polite. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
oh, for example, no. But then I say polite is when you're still assertive,
Yeah,
but you're not rude.
exactly.
For example, would you like to have one of our delicious cakes?
I would still think that's polite.
Not really.
Hope you have a wonderful day.
No, that's just size resting bitch
Just look at
voice.
his eyes.
No, that's
They're
size
dead
resting.
in them.
That's just size resting bitch voice.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but then service recovery is something that
That's a lovely shirt, sir.
Yeah, thank you, I got it for free. No, but then service recovery is something that's really bad in Bhutan.
Yeah.
But you remember, like, after I went to Japan, I came back, I just started noticing, I think when you're living here your whole life, you don't notice how the service is,
Bad.
basic restaurants is. No? Because when you go to Japan, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
and you come in, no. And then you press the
Sumimasen!
press the button, like, yes, okay, yes. And then they go, no. And then when they come, they say more.
Were you talking to a Japanese waitress or a Japanese porn star?
Waitress,
Oh my
they're all like that for some reason.
Everyone's 12 years old, alright? Everyone sounds 12 years old. Alright, sorry, not everyone's 12 years old.
I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, or is it like their voice, or is it like something like, maybe it looks cute for the ladies, no, but the majority of like people I met, they had the, oh, hi, so, like I don't know why.
Maybe it's like submissive in a way.
Thank you. Anyways, but then they also do that, what do you call, so when they bring you food,
Yeah.
I forgot what it was, like just no. And they say, thank you for waiting. That's the first thing they say.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you
wow.
for waiting. And then,
That's-
then the usual like this fast food restaurants, the kilo paper, and you just put it in like a sago, and you take it and then you pay the bill. And they go, thank you for coming and leave. No, so like this was what the experience regular was in Japan. When I came back for break and had like went to a momo restaurant, went there, the waiters just came in here, okay? Like imagine the paper, okay, paper and a pen. This is I was like, hey, that's the difference.
That's paper. They just
Pack, that's so fucked up.
And then there are some who are like overly
A little too much
too
in your
much.
face.
Like
yeah.
no, they'll come like they'll be like with the waiter and they'll be like that. No, and then it'll be like it's so awkward to even take it from them. It's like you don't have to do the extreme opposite of that. A simple thing as here you go is enough. Like you don't have to give me that full on like
I think
bent
that's
at the
okay
waist.
though. You're complaining about too much
I
then.
know.
There's
I'm
no
just
way.
kidding.
You're too nice to me too. I don't like it when you're too nice.
I don't like too nice. I don't like it when you're too mean, and I don't like it when you're too nice. Because when you're too
Tough,
nice,
yeah.
Fucking Goldilocks there.
yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
find me the right
Bed.
right.
Right, soup which is not too hot, not too
Yeah.
cold in the bed, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess again, I suppose I'd prefer someone being overly polite over
Rude.
being overly.
Any
Of
day.
course, Rudy.
But again,
It's getting better also though,
Yeah.
the service industry.
Yeah,
It
man.
better
So
because now,
Right?
like,
yeah.
new restaurants
Yeah.
and people are learning.
Yes.
Young people who are starting it up
They're
now,
amazing,
they've
yeah.
been taught that this is not the right way.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe the old school people who've done it, they just
Yeah.
like lived through that shit, so they never like bother like, that's a tough one
Yeah.
again.
And there wasn't that much competition back then either, so you're like, you have to come to my store to buy this opchi now.
You have no choice.
You know what I mean,
You
right?
are obligated.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Now we have competition, so everyone has to be better than the other.
So how is your service at your store?
Hey, it's nice way.
In Como
It's a small store. You
Como?
No, yeah.
Noya.
Yeah.
Noya. Sounds like a Miyazaki film.
Yeah, nice. Thanks. That's a compliment.
Yeah, it is. Isn't he coming out with a new movie?
Again?
Yeah,
Yeah,
retired.
I think he's coming
He's
back.
Japanese. They don't retire.
Oh, that's
They
true.
just work until they're dead.
Oh.
That's what I heard when I was like working in a restaurant. There was a lot of old people, like really old people, like at least youngest maybe 70.
Who's working?
Yeah,
Oh.
they work in dishwashing, they're doing all cooking, and all like high school job women. Like,
For what reason?
huh?
Because they want to?
So
or-
that's what I heard. Like,
Oh.
they work their entire lives because
Yeah.
Japanese is such a working culture.
Yes, yes.
So once they retire, they're bored.
Oh.
They don't know what to do. So they just work for the sake of like, I don't waste my time. Because their children are probably working themselves.
Yeah.
They're home alone, so they're bored. So they say, okay, let me just pick up a part-time job,
That's
and then just like, we don't need it money. They just do it
Okay.
because now your mind has been fixed that you're working every day
Becomes
8 hours,
self-style.
more than 8 hours for so long. No?
Singapore also you see a lot of old people working, but that's not for the same reason. It's because they have to like pay so much. And it's so expensive, the standard of living. You feel kind of bad also at the food court, like they're like shuffling their feet and trying to get like trays and all. They're that old men, and you feel bad. But then if you try to help them, they get
Granny,
angry,
you
so-
can be rude to me.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you want?
Granny, you can be rude to me all you like.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a syndrome where you see like a lonely old person eating by themselves and you feel sad? Do you guys feel that?
No.
Huh? You don't feel sad?
No.
When I was with
My
Bang-
friend does.
Huh?
Because
My
usually I
friend
don't.
When I was in
I'm not
Bangkok-
seeing old people eat.
When I was in Bangkok, I
Yeah.
still have a distinct memory as a kid when I went to Bangkok. I saw his old, he was not that old, he was like 40 years old. He was quite overweight, he was carrying his bag, he was so tired. And he went to McDonald's when we were eating, and he was sitting across us and he was eating all by himself. And I was so sad. I was praying, please let this guy have a family back home who loves him or some friends.
God.
My heart was broken. I was like, I just want to give this guy a hug and
Oh
say
my
everything's going to be
God.
okay. Oh my god, I see that the mind is imprinted. I can like, literally draw him by memory. Like,
No, my wife has that. Like when
gosh.
when we were in India, so the rickshawalas, right? Some of them are
Yeah.
really old.
Yeah. Oh my
And
god,
my-
that I feel bad.
No, and then my wife will be like, the rickshawala will be like, please come and go on my rickshaw, and then I'm usually like, I'm fine, because you're trying to make a living. And then my wife will be like, no, let's go on the younger one. And then I'm saying, that's more insulting to the older man, because he also needs to make a
And
living.
he's not going to make money.
And he's not going to make money. But then, I was like, of course you can feel bad, but at the same time, you feeling bad and then deciding to go with the younger guy because you think he's going to pull him is more condescending to the older person who needs to make that money as well.
Tough choice.
Instead, I always tell him, maybe give extra cash to the old person.
Yeah.
but then this, like sometimes when you're walking by, you see these old people walking on the road or something like that. No, it's like I forgot somewhere, but its analogy is like a. Like a caterpillar when it becomes a butterfly,
Yeah.
it takes like metamorphosis,
Metamorphosis.
Pupa.
pupa, whatever, it becomes for 7 days over there. But the
Metapod is a
hardest
Pokemon.
hardest part is the last day over there when they get out the shell, they're quite
Yeah.
stuck, and then finally they struggle like anything, and then they go out,
Come
their
out,
wings
right?
fly.
Yeah.
So in that time. No, if you help the caterpillar get out of the shell, so it'll die. It has to go through the process by itself.
Yeah.
So I never wrote this. So like maybe you helping them is not going to help them in the long run. Maybe just like making these people, when you feel a little bad, no, if they can figure out a way to help themselves, no, that is more of a realistic way of them bettering their life rather than someone giving them a handout.
Any day I will be more impressed by an old man working than an old man begging. To me, that's just thing. Because
We don't have
at
much
least-
beggars.
Well, we do, ba?
Really?
You know how I know?
have you like not been in town?
Because
Yeah,
now,
but not that frequent, Mitchue. Like maybe once in a while I
because
meet.
now store chibe, I know, because otherwise town no junjira mi mo namse. But now the Tsongka is like centrally located. We
Yes.
have so many people who come and beg,
Oh.
and so many people who come and ask for donation for random stuff. It's like I was like I didn't know this was happening.
Almost now, because after we finished filming Get a B, so most time when we were doing Get a B, I was always out, no?
Yeah.
So these days I've been like nothing to do, no filming, finished scripting, everything. So I've just been stuck at home. Every 2 days, Chimnani Omana, they pray and then.
Sing and humming.
Sit up,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then half the time I don't think they're praying.
What are they doing?
Because sometimes I can't hear what they're saying. They just I'm like,
They just like
actually,
giving money.
and then they're like thing, no, and then I was like, I don't have money.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh sir, like look.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, y'all are I genuinely did not have money. I use Mbop for everything. And he was like, I don't have money. And then he was like,
Scanty.
no. I was so scared. We actually just like pulled out a scan. We like, please.
Oh my god, that might happen now.
Yeah, eventually. And then again, these are very able-bodied people.
Exactly.
And they're young.
I don't
It's not even old guys. These are like men in their late 30s, 40s.
Not handicapped.
Yeah, and they're going, and I'm not saying it's not saying necessarily that those who give are bad people for giving. If you want to give. But
Yeah.
it's just with me, I will not give them.
You're making it a habit for them, then, no?
Oh, here's
It's
the best
easy
part.
money, yeah.
Once, and the shitty thing is I have the keyhole, what do you call that? The eye thing?
Yeah, the peephole.
The peephole, there we go.
People.
The peephole, yeah,
Yeah,
the door.
I bet
I was like, what?
you're way off.
The sad part is,
What did he say?
the sad part is every time they always show up around 11, 12, no? Like ding dong, and I'll be like looking through the peephole like an idiot because I can't see shit. But I feel like I have to use that peephole now
Just
because it's construct, it's in the door. I might as well use it.
Yeah.
And then I always regret as soon as I open the door because now they know I'm here and they say, and then they're like, and then I'm like, I don't have cash. But then once this other guy, he was like, could you please give me, help a brother out sort of thing.
Oh.
And
a
then
dollar?
yeah, and then here's the thing. So I said, wait, and then I went to my room to get my wallet. As I come out, he's in my living room.
Okay. Why did you not lock your door, yo?
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
So he opened the door and came in. And then I came back and I was like, excuse me, like, what are you doing inside? I didn't tell you to come in, no? And then he was like, oh, no. And then he was just like looking around the house. And then I was like, okay, here you go. I gave him $10. He said, can I have 50?
Oh.
And then I said, I only have 10. And then after that he says, do you have juice? And then I was like, what the fuck?
Can I live here?
And then I was like, no, I don't have juice. Do you want water? I don't have juice.
Yeah.
I was like, do you want water? No, I want juice.
Just kick him out there.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? Take the $10. Get the fuck out of my house. He was saying, I want to go to Bumthang, so I need $50. I was like, that's not my problem, bro.
Yeah. My grandmother said they don't even like take chum and all. Hemadi
chumi mate, yeah.
Daddy mapula limited lo. So-
They'll drink
Yeah.
them most likely.
Yeah.
Some of them probably won't, but most of them will.
Most of them.
Most of them.
Majority.
Okay. What a way of conversation ending on begging. Okay.
Life happens.
Is it an hour?
I think just
What's
about,
that?
40. Yay. Please.
52 minutes.
That's about 52 minutes.
Okay.
So we'll just make it a good round figure and then we can end the episode. But then anything you want to talk about, you want to ask us, you can ask us things also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can ask us things
Can I
also.
interview you two now?
Yes, why not? You're a seasoned interviewer yourself there.
You're already seasoned, though, but yeah. Yeah, come here. I'll give you.
No, I want Sai to give me.
Oh my god.
You want
The last thing I want is a woman to serve.
What the hell?
what?
Do you know the podcast is ending? Do you want to get smacked before it ends?
Yeah.
Does that ever happen?
Depends on where.
Like, hit him.
For pleasure, yes.
No, god.
Okay, you have any questions?
Do you have any questions?
Or you want to talk about anything else? Well, we should
No, I don't want to
you
talk
suck-
about anything else.
You don't want to talk about anything else.
No, I can't think of anything else.
Okay. Is that it?
No, I'm trying to think of if I want to ask you guys anything
Okay.
about your podcast. But I'm sure everyone asks y'all that.
Like what? No, not really.
Like how it started or things like that.
Actually, no one actually ever started a question.
Did you all know each other from Lhamo?
Actually, we went to the same primary school, the Sunshine School.
Back then?
Yeah.
Oh, you were in Sunshine too?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was a year senior to me,
Okay.
but he was also doing Zampa, but we never interacted
So how did you all reconnect?
because of Getafe.
Oh.
So he was fixing a cast for the show, and then I think some friend of his recommended that he should contact me. And
Okay.
he slid into my DMs, and after one night of passion, he convinced me.
You all decided on SciPod?
One night of passion. Oh, not SciPod. That was from Getafe.
Oh, okay.
So when we were doing Getafe, the studio was located somewhere else.
Okay.
We had a better green screen and everything.
Yeah.
So
I
one day I was just like, when I was in Japan, I used to commute and listen to a lot of podcasts. So I was never into podcasts before. But then I started listening. I was like, wow, this is really good, and I think I can do it.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just a conversation. It's not
Yes.
even an interview.
Yeah.
You just need to have some people with some opinions which can share and have a interesting conversation which you can listen to while you're driving or working. Blah blah blah. So when I always thought about the name, if I have a podcast, I'll call it the SciPod because it sounds like a tripod or some punny
Or sci-fi pod.
or whatever.
It's really cool. Yeah.
So then,
Psychotic
so I told him, Killa, I said, I want to start a podcast. No, just nothing. We just put a recorder. We just talk about random shit more. We don't even need a guest. We just talk about anything every week. He's like, I don't know why he was apprehensive. He's like, I don't know. I'm busy. Or this weekend I had to buy onions or something. I don't know. So some things like that.
Playing hard to get.
Playing hard to get. So, okay, Killa, how about this?
I had done years of radio. You think I wanted to do another year of radio
it's
again?
radio, yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll have the first episode will be the podcast, and you come as a guest. And then Norla, would you set up the camera and everything? He was down for saying, let's do it. So he gave me a little bit of Josh.
Okay.
So we did the first episode, and he had fun. We also had fun. We uploaded just the audio, and then the next week we wanted to find a guest, and then we found our friend Sangesh for the TikToker.
Oh yeah.
She was the
he's
second
fun.
guest.
Swipe your mouth.
So he came into the studio.
Sorry.
motherly.
I'm a
tendency.
Virgo.
So
Anyway.
he suggested
Okay.
let us record it as well.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, video. No, I said I don't think there's a lot of production quality.
So
edit
people
video.
like to watch.
Yeah, but no, I was like, it's okay. I'll edit it. No, this was his creative
Yeah,
input.
yeah.
So we did it, and while we were doing it, I called Kinle. I said, Kinle, what are you doing? Not much.
Buying onions.
Buying onions. Literally, I'm kidding. So I said, okay.
I was buying onions.
So I said, okay, Kile, right now I'm doing another episode with Sanjay. You want to drop by, come. And he came, he said, okay, he bought onions. Literally bought onions. You can watch the second episode.
I need to watch it. Yeah, okay.
So then when that happened, then it's slow. Then next week when I was like thinking, okay, Namsai put business, then he started calling me, wait, when's the next episode? So first, and then after third episode, he's like, oh, who's the next guest?
No, the third one was Pushpa.
You got
And
hooked up?
We went into lockdown at that point.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
That one day, 24-hour lockdown.
yeah, the 124, the weekend
Yeah.
lockdown.
And
We need to
that's
get
how it
Pushpa
started.
back, by the way.
Oh yeah, she's a lot of fun. Isn't she leaving?
Next year, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's gonna have
Okay.
back.
But are you guys making money as well
Making money?
with
What
the
do you mean?
podcast?
With the podcast? No, this is completely a hobby.
Oh really? But you all should at the same time advertise there, like how all the podcasters do.
Yeah, but it's like
YouTube
we need people to come to us and ask, we want to sponsor.
No, you need to go to them. They won't
No.
come to you.
But
Please
then-
now.
But I don't know who to go to. And besides, this is
Go to all the What?
Oh,
Okay, not
what nice,
now.
small, wonderful things.
Small things.
And if you want to buy nice, small, wonderful things,
Next year, guys. Right now, I just started. Right now, even I'm like struggling.
So that's why.
You don't even know the name of
I
the
can't
place.
say it. I know the thing.
No advertising.
The reason why is we
Yeah.
have a small audience. It's not
Yeah.
very large. Maybe I could say at the max we have
About
actively we have about a few hundred people listening every week.
Okay.
That's what my guess is.
More
Not very
views on YouTube though.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, a few hundred thing, and maybe we get a max or an average of 1,000 to 2,000 views.
Okay.
So that's not a very big advertiser-friendly audience.
Okay.
So at least if my audience, at least the views for this podcast, so our podcast goes very high, then at least it seems like kind of feasible, makes sense to
Yeah.
ask people like, hey, we have this many people watching, you want to advertise?
You should advertise food at least, and then eat it on the podcast while you talk. And
Ah,
you'll
yeah.
get free food.
We sort of lost steam somewhere.
Hire
in the
me as the
middle,
marketing.
remember?
Love?
When
Thank
we
you for that.
started the filming of Get a Bee, the first few episodes,
Yeah, we had like a 2-month hiatus.
Because we were like so
Tired.
pushed out after filming.
Yeah,
It's like,
sure,
nah, can't come.
Even if it was more for us shooting and setting this up, it's not a big issue. But then our production team, they edit,
okay.
no, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
get piled and piled
I'm
and
sure.
piled. So they
That's
don't
a
get
lot
time
of
to-
work post production.
Yeah, so they can't edit everything else. So that's how it.
And also we decided to have a green screen and really test the patience of our editors because we were like, ha, here!
There's gotta be an easier way, you know? Now that, I don't know.
No, when we had the green screen, we were really like playing around with it. Sometimes, like when we had Farmer's Sangeet, the background was a complete
I
farm.
saw it.
Yeah.
It was really
farm.
nice.
Then with Taliman, it was like...
I messaged him yesterday. I was like, I want like outer space ski.
Yeah, we don't have a green screen.
I'm like, okay, I get the curtains. It's okay.
We need to walk away around because in the old place, it was set up with wood and it was nailed to the wall. It was nicely spread so you can easily use it in post-production. But right now we have the sheet, it's actually lying over there. We tried to put it up, but since you need to stretch it
out,
any wrinkles, then you cannot take that shit out.
Oh, okay.
So that's how it works, kids. VFX ain't easy.
A lot of work.
What about a flexi poster?
Flexi poster, what do
You know those giant backdrop
If anyone wants to
posters
donate
which
a
are just
poster or
stretched
like a tapestry to North Studios, y'all should do it. Yeah, this is the perfect time to ask for donations.
Donations. Do you
All
want me
about
to come by?
begging
Do you
now.
want me to come by your house and pray?
Now we're going to complain.
I will come pray at your doorstep, but instead of money, I'll ask for like a giant tapestry.
1,000 chinami.
Juicy.
No, it's not. Podcast in the this week. Go ahead.
My prayer will be Saipod.
Ukulele like out in the house.
You guys are bad at marketing.
No, hijrazum is your
At least the hijras scare a lot of people into giving them money.
Scary, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Especially
you will curse your baby, they'll end up like us.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you're making a lot of money. I wish my baby turned out like you.
Bless your child. I'm gone.
Alright, and with that, I think we've hit the 1 hour mark.
What do you want to call this episode?
Huh?
What do you want to call this episode?
Sad off with sad on.
Oh! No.
That's great.
The
Thank
dawn
Oh,
of
no.
Sadness.
with Sadon Lhamo.
Oh my god.
The dawn of
What do you prefer? The dawn of Sa or
sad off with sad on.
Sad off with sad on.
Lhamo.
I like both. I can't decide. You guys.
Sad off with the dawn of
It's gonna be the longest title, more.
We have a lot of great titles. So one of my favorite titles was when we had Haksam, who was an artist, and we called the episodes one of the podcasts of all time.
Oh.
It's not one of the. It's one of the
One of the podcasts, not one of the greatest.
It's one of the podcasts of all time.
I think one of my favorite is Sweet Home Alu Pema.
Oh, that's really nice.
And then 2 weeks ago we had How Shang-Chi.
How Shang-Chi.
How Shang-Chi.
Yeah, How Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay,
How
okay.
Shang-Chi.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
Luana.
Shang-Chi.
Luana.
Who was the guest there?
We had an RJ from Radio Valley.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, the guy with the beanie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
He's quite.
I watched some of them.
He's quite nerdy. So
Yeah.
There's a lot of nerdy interests.
Interesting
but we also
characters.
have, we have a lot of interesting
Personalities,
characters and personalities. Okay.
Okay.
Outro Shishuge.
Lasso. Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show,
Thanks
Sadon.
for having me.
Sadon,
It was fun.
anything you want to plug? This is the hour. This is the plug hour. Anything you want to say, like do this? You want
You might want to
link
plug
out here? You want to
What?
follow
Your
this?
shop.
Oh, I already did though.
Do it again. People forget. You
Where is
people
it? We
have-
still don't know where
Okay,
it is.
it is located.
I know where it is.
Yeah.
It's
But do
you
they know?
tell them where it's located.
oh god, it's going to be difficult. So you know the road below 811, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the steps that go down,
Yeah.
it's in one of those alleys.
In Northern Lam, in Thimphu to be specific, people can be watching this from all Zongkaks. Let's include the layups, okay? Think about
Alright.
that.
Yeah. Thanks for promoting.
Actually, yeah, you want the Layups money that Yatsagin book cash. You want that.
And
You want money that they make from little things to spend on your little things.
Okay.
oh, little things. Wait, so
Little things with Sadon. There you go.
yeah.
hey. And if you ever fly in Drukgyal and then you might recognize Ajim, say hi. Say you watch the podcast. Maybe she'll spill your tea.
Hey, I'll give you extra food.
Ask for the crew meal. It's always better.
That's not true. I like the passenger
She's
meals
lying.
better. I like the passenger meals better.
Ask for the business class meal.
And
Yeah.
do things you enjoy. That's what I want to
It
say.
has extra spit. Thank you.
Oh God.
Do
Okay.
things you enjoy.
Okay,
Yeah,
see you all
alright.
next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
What's up?
Meow meow. Thank you.
Thank you. Wait.